So you saw how much Steve Bannon was working down in Alabama, to make sure that Roy Moore was elected and so forth. Well, I believe one of the key partners here that makes those fuel rods and also makes these aluminum boats is Austal, and they make a combat ship called the Littoral ship that I talked about yesterday. You can see that they're down here in Mobile, Alabama, and they're also making a lot of these passenger ferries, commercial passenger ferries. But the big increase in their business, the reason why they've really increased, is making these combat fast littoral ships, and it's had quite a jump since 2008. Again, this is an Australian company coming into the United States. Now, I believe that they are going to be trying to use different power plants in these I believe these are all electric boats now, for use of these, either for the fuel rods, the older technology, or this newer SNAP technology as nuclear reactors get smaller. I can tell you this older technology here. Here's the fuel rods in the NS Savannah. There was 4 bundles of 41 rods. You saw how long it was and so forth. But there's a lot of effort inside of the Navy to reduce the size of these, and also icebreakers. The Russians have used nuclear reactors for icebreakers for a long time. The first nuclear merchant ship wasn't such a success, but they are. I'm going to guarantee you that they're going to be looking at both of these reactor technologies in the future, the Steve Bannons of the world. In addition to, these are the power plants and supplies for satellites. I guess that's the key here, is that's going to be the area of emphasis. Here's Saucier, if you've never seen him. And there he said it right there, and I think that rounds out the whole discussion of the pay to play. If you're a little guy and you do the lowest level, you go to jail. If you're the big top dogs trading in this with Russian crime partners, you get away